So, it brings me to a very commonly used term because you shared your experience, trauma, childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And I know there is a specialized healing called inner child healing. So, is that what inner child healing does? Like all the trauma that has been inflicted on you as a child, you're constantly working on healing that child who doesn't feel protected or doesn't feel seen.
Yes. So inner child trauma, Bhav, like we all know that people think that inner child trauma needs to be something very big, like कुछ बड़ा होना चाहिए. Then it is trauma. But frankly, even a slap, one single slap can be traumatic to one child, whereas that same slap for another child can be like, हाँ ठीक है ना, थप्पड़ मिला, big deal, yeah.
Right.
He'll forget and he'll just pass.
Right.
So trauma cannot be defined, huh? Nobody can say, oh, but you just got a slap, just sit down, a big deal. Nobody can say that.
Right.
That may really be trauma, and that is what he would be carrying. So we are constantly healing our inner child.
Right.
Because that's also our power zone. If I am not for the child I am, and like yesterday also, so inner child is a constant healing. It's a subconscious. Okay, and that's where all my stories are. The conscious mind is the mother. The subconscious is the child. So this is the relationship I want to build between my conscious mind and my subconscious mind, between the mother and the child. Ultimately, we all need to parent ourselves. As adults, I become my own mother, I become my own father.
Right.
Right? And that's how the journey goes ahead. And that's how then we also stop blaming our parents.
Yeah.
Because they did the best they could do with the available resources that they had.
Agreed. Actually, this reminds me of when I was young. Like you said, it doesn't even have to be a slap. When I was young, I was quite overweight. And सारे बच्चे पहले तो साथ में खेलते नहीं थे because I was slow at running. I couldn't be really sporty because I was overweight. And there's this one term that is stuck in my head. They would look at me and they'd say, ये तो पानी की टंकी आ गया, पानी की टंकी आ गया. And for the longest time in my life, because of that, whenever I would look at a mirror, and people would tell me that, you're good looking or whatever, but whenever I would look at the mirror, I would constantly only see flaws. I'd only see ki love handle bahar aa rahe hain, or, my jaw is not looking fine or something. And I've realized that in the last 1.5 years, now 2 years, it'll be 2 years in May, in the last 2 years, now when I see myself in the mirror, now I don't look at the flaws because I've done the self work. I've gotten to know myself beyond just the body. Now I look at myself very differently, and now I'm just like, oh, you're good looking. Now I feel good looking. I don't only hear good looking, I feel good looking for the first time in my life after all these years. So I understand when you say ki trauma is not only a slap, it could be something that you think is insignificant that you tell somebody else, and somebody's just carrying it all their lives. And I think I've conducted my entire life because I have felt I didn't see myself. I have conducted my entire life in a way where I was invisible to the world. And I'm sure everybody has something like this. Everybody has something that they carry with them. It's like this weight that you're carrying, which you can't put down till you see the weight. Sometimes you don't even know what weight you're carrying.
And sometimes you don't even want to keep it down.